Hey everyone, Robert here. It's May 1st, 2020, and the mayor of Kansas City has introduced a plan that all businesses in the Kansas City metropolitan area are going to have to follow to be able to open up said businesses for the public. And it's called the 10-10-10 plan. And what that is 10% of the building with regard to the occupancy of the building of said businesses, or 10 people inside a business for 10 minutes. Now, this is a plan that will most likely be adopted in some way, shape, or form by other cities and other major metropolitan areas across the country for opening up to the public once again. Now, there is a problem with this, and I'm not blasting the mayor. He is doing what he can to try and jumpstart the local economy. But the main crux of this problem, and a lot of people such as myself are having a problem with, is that if the occupants of the building go at 10% of the building's capacity or the size, or there are more than 10 people inside of a business, they are supposed to keep track of individuals and get their contact information, their names, addresses, emails, phone numbers, all of these things. And to me, hence the whole thumbnail of this video, this is vaguely reminiscent and segregating a certain population of the people, just like the Jews were before the whole thing with the Holocaust. My problem with this is, how are they going to be able to keep track of all these people? You have to think about it. There are going to be people that are going to be switching positions within the business, or they are going to have to hire a new individual solely to keep track of all of the people that are coming into their business. And that's going to take some time. How are they going to keep track of it? Another aspect of the logistics of keeping track of people is that you're not going to be able to do this without some type of technological intervention to be able to keep track of facial recognition. And the only country that has a proven method of keeping track of people within a society going about their everyday business is China. China, who is suspected of accidentally releasing this thing onto the world. How ironic. Now, with regard to the enforcement, there are not going to be, as far as I know at the taking of this video, there are not going to be any police involved in this, but the businesses are going to have to enforce this rule on their own. And if they decide not to do this, or that rule cannot be applied in some way, shape, or form with regard to logistics, the businesses will be shut down. To my knowledge, they will be shut down if they decide not to follow this rule or whatever. This 10-10-10 rule applies as well to social gatherings and churches. So from the church standpoint, if you have a church service with 10 people or more, you're supposed to collect their contact information. If you have churches that have outside parking lot services of 50 or more, they are supposed to collect contact information. The reason for the contact information is to do a contact trace should the virus crop up again. And it will crop up again. Once people start getting out, their immune systems are depleted because of they stayed in for the last month or several weeks or so. There's going to be an uptick in sickness, and also the fact that many hospital administrative staffs are telling their doctors and nurses that certain things with regard to sickness are to be classified as COVID-19 related. Now, back to this. The logistics of keeping this plan are absolutely unrealistic. How is the individual keeping track of all the others that are coming into the place of business be able to do that? There are going to be people that are going to be coming and going in and out all day long. It is not going to work. And there are going to be plenty of people such as myself that will not adhere to this rule. I do not want my contact information put down on any business because, one, I don't know what they're going to do with it, and two, how long are they going to keep it? Are they going to destroy the contact information after the 10-10-10 rule has been lifted? Will it be lifted? Is this the new normal? Once government has power they are not very likely to release that power. What's going to happen to that information? And it starts to segment the people into two different groups. Your one group is going to adhere to the law and adhere to the rule, and the other group who questions, I'm in this group, the other group who questions the new laws that are coming into place and that are starting to look at things from a historical standpoint, we are going to be in our own little group. So is this a way of keeping the people on a list to weed out the troublemakers? I know they're doing it for our health, but I don't know. Something seems amiss. And I remember Mark Twain's comment that history doesn't often repeat, but it often rhymes. And I think history is rhyming at this point. This plan is just a little disconcerting for me. The sad thing about it is that people who normally wouldn't abide by this are going to be so willing to abide by this because, one, the businesses need the money. So they are going to go with this plan no matter what. They can't operate in Kansas City if they don't abide by this plan. They are going to go with this plan because they need money. And two, people are going to abide by the signing and contact information because they want to get out of quarantine. They want to get out. And those two factors are going to be factors for which we are going to give up another area of our freedoms, our civil liberties, areas of privacy, and we won't care. We are willingly going to give them to the government. So what are your thoughts on this? Do you have any other information beyond the sources that I've provided in the description below of this video? What are your thoughts? Do you think that this is a repeat of history? Do you think that we are headed more towards an authoritative, totalitarian type of way of doing our lives because of COVID-19, because of this coronavirus? And also, a personal thing, do you think that there will be more technological surveillance methods incorporated for facial recognitions, just like China uses in their society today, to be able to keep track of people so that they won't have to worry about keeping the contact information? I think that that's something too. Later.